Future State continues with Jolie Jones and Geordie Belair introducing us to a new Wonder Woman in that of Brazilian Yara Flor, who in Diana's absence has risen to the challenge to defend man's world from injustice and the dark magic that inhabits it. Yara's journey sees her travel to Hades to free one of her Themysciran sisters, but will she incur the wrath of Hades or succeed in her mission? Introducing a new character can be quite difficult, especially if it's a new legacy character who's inheriting a mantle, but here Jolie Jones makes it look like nothing as we get an extremely fun fantasy story that has a lot more comedy than I was expecting. I really enjoy that right off the bat we get a sense of Yara's personality. She's light, funny, always with a quick and snappy retort, but also not afraid to get her hands dirty and do what must be done to win the day. What's really quite cool is that at least as of this issue, she is the solo lead for the book, which is really quite fantastic since now all of the book's focus is solely on her. Her animal companion Jerry the flying horse seems really fun, and we get a great little moment here that helps us understand his attitude and the quote-unquote villain of the story. A caipora, a creature from Portuguese folklore, was very fun. I put villain in quotation marks since it's very similar to, say, a character like Mixel Spitlick, in that she's just having fun with the hero and playing tricks on her. She's not doing anything evil or malevolent and trying to kill her. It was a very nice change of pace since the book could have easily turned her into a fully evil generic villain for Wonder Woman to battle. Jones's exploration into the underworld was really very cool and funny as well, and turning it into a bus transit hub sort of transportation place was really quite cool, with hints of the DMV thrown in, and for great effect since, you know, the DMV is the closest thing we have to hell in the real world. The combination of both traditional Greek myths like Hydras and Cerberuses mixed with Tupi-Guarani mythology like the Kaipora or the Botada that was mentioned as well worked so well together, giving the book, as I said before, a fun and interesting fantasy setting that I'm really excited to see explore next issue and beyond in Infinite Frontier, since it seems quite like an untapped potential for DC. Jolie Jones also pulls double duty on art and absolutely knocks it out of the park with her stunning pencils. Her design for Yara is just so cool. It invokes Diana's Wonder Woman in all the right places on the costume, while also being something completely new and separate. Yara herself is drawn really well, presenting a gentle and kind nature that can, when need be, turn into a vicious warrior, and then back again just as quickly. Jones's designs for the more fantastical things like the Kaipora or the designs for the underworld were really fun as well. I love the little black demon thing that was manning the entry turnstiles since it looked like a chibi version of a larger, more sinister character. I also have to give credit to Geordie Belair's wonderful colours over Jolie's art, specifically the underworld set stuff. I loved the gradient type backgrounds within these scenes and how it was almost like a blank background with the characters just inhabiting a space, allowing the reader to instead focusing on small background intricate details to pay more attention to the main action that was happening. It also seemed rather fitting that the underworld have these mostly blank backgrounds, seeing as the world is a type of limbo or some type of endless void, so it makes sense there wouldn't be really anything down there. Future State Wonder Woman issue 1 was a fantastic first introduction to the wonderful Yara Flor, perfectly encapsulating her personality, her story, and her little piece of the larger DC universe. I thoroughly enjoyed the book, leaning pretty hard into the fantasy aspect, marrying both Greek and Tupi-Guarani mythology really well together and combining it all with some very funny humor. I'm looking forward to Yara's story continuing here, as well as what her interactions with the other heroes of Future State like Superman and the Justice League will be like in the coming weeks. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Future State Wonder Woman issue 1 heads deep into the Amazon rainforest, where Yara Flor battles a giant serpent monster, easily cutting its head off, finding their battle to be rather anticlimactic. As she goes to leave, the serpent regrows its head, revealed to be a Hydra. Yara isn't too happy, calling out for her horse Jerry as she combats the monster's many growing heads, but her flying horse is happily grazing in a nearby river. Freeing herself from the creature's many maws, Yara plunges the sword deep into one of the main heads. Yara whistles for the horse, which quickly comes to her aid, and with the flying mount providing her with some extra movement, Yara continues her attack, going back after the sword. She pulls it from the Hydra's neck, killing the original head, and with it, the entire Hydra dies completely, meaning her job is now finished, despite what Jerry has to say about how she went about it. Later, as Yara cuts off the monster's head, she tells Jerry that he has to have her back in this. Soon the hero hears something singing in the jungle as a Kaipora emerges from the bush, asking what the woman is doing. Yara says that she's going to take the cut-off horn to Hades and exchange it for the return of one of her sister warriors, and if he refuses, he'll kill Hades with the horn and bring her sister home herself. The Kaipora says that she can't let her take the horn, becoming angered when Yara refuses to stop, proclaiming that no matter who Yara Flor's father is, she will not poach in these lands. Swinging her bowler, Yara says that she wasn't poaching and was simply borrowing the horn for noble purposes. She throws the bowler around the Kaipora, tying her up, as the girl says that she can get Yara into the underworld, but only if the horn and her horse stays. Yara agrees to do this, but knows it's probably setting her up for another trick, since the last time Yara met the Kaipora, she changed around the entire jungle, causing the hero to get lost in it for 2 months, and even sent a boitada after her, and the flaming snake almost burnt her to death. The Kaipora says that she is sorry since she had just quit smoking and she was being a bit irritable. Kaipora rips a hole in reality and both head through to the underworld, where the Kaipora tells her to keep quiet until they get to the river. Heading past the Cerberus and into the security check-in, where the Kaipora presents her membership card, talking with the little demon about upgrading to a platinum tier. Yara gets frustrated, heading for the turnstiles, but when they don't open, she tries to force it, unable to move the bar that keeps clicking. Getting frustrated with Kaipora's prattling on and the unmoving turnstile, she rips it from the ground. The Cerberus awakens briefly, causing Yara to tense up, but then it goes back to sleep. The Kaipora apologizes for her friend as they head into the transit hub, where Kaipora reminds Yara what she told her to do. Yara says that she was told to keep her head on a swivel, which is completely different to what the Kaipora said. But the girl explains to Yara where they are and how in the hub people get sorted and then sent to whatever afterlife they envision. Yara finds this all rather depressing, but Kaipora says that this is how it's done, or how Yara sees things done, since reality is in the eye of the beholder after all, making Yara think that this is how she is to envision the underworld. Heading up to the waiting dock, the boatman soon comes to ferry people across the river Styx. Yara grows impatient with the lion, asking how they are going to pay as they finally reach the boatman, whose bony hand extends to demand payment for the ride. Yara says that she forgot her wallet, sent to the back of the lion where they wait behind a sumo wrestler and his coin. Yara hopes that Kaipora would help her, but the girl says that she would only get the hero to Hades, not pay her way. But if they were friends, then she might help. Yara soon spots the sumo's coin, reaching for it as Kaipora tells her the important impact friends have, asking why Yara never came to her birthday party that she invited her to. Kaipora's constant talking makes the sumo turn, ruining Yara's plan, but luckily the Kaipora has an idea, getting her boar companion to bite the sumo wrestler. The sumo wrestler howls in pain and drops the coin as Yara grabs it. The sumo wrestler realizes he's missing a coin and he angrily confronts Yara, who knows this is the currency she knows how to spend, getting into a brawl with the wrestler, causing utter chaos in the lion. Kaipora knows that this was a bad idea as the very angry Cerberus arrives to deal with Wonder Woman.